Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Rob, and it's time for a video that I've been getting asked about quite a bit. So, as you guys already know by now, Toyota is releasing their fourth generation Tacoma in 2024. Now, my Tacoma is a third generation. It is a 2022 Tacoma Tier D Off-Road. The third generation of Tacomas did come out back in 2015, so we are definitely overdue for the next generation. In the past, usually new generations are every 5 years. It's been about 8 years with the Tacoma. So it's about time for the next generation. Now, something though that I am asked about quite a bit is, will I be keeping my third generation or will I be trading it in and getting the fourth generation Tacoma? Now, I do think the fourth generation Tacoma is a big improvement, at least on paper, and I also do think it looks spectacular. But with that being said, I will actually not be upgrading to the fourth generation Tacoma, or I guess, upgrading. I will be staying with my third generation Tacoma. As of right now, I have zero plans on buying a 2024 Tacoma. And I actually want to talk about that, and that is what this video will be about. So let's go ahead and let's actually first talk a little bit about the 2024 Tacoma, what's changing, and what a lot of people are actually pretty excited for. All right, you guys, so first off, before we go into my reasoning, let's talk about the actual new 2024 fourth generation Tacoma. First things first, you'll notice, of course, it does look very different, guys, all right? Now, it's very love it or hate it. Some people don't like how Toyota makes all their new cars look kind of futuristic, right? Like, they have the sharp angles, the sharp headlights and all that. And the bumpers always now have like those little sharp cuts in them. And I get it. Some people don't like them. Me, I love it. I think it looks really cool. Third generation, though, also does look really nice. The thing with the third generation Tacoma is it has a nice sort of timeless utility look. And that's what I really like about it. But the 2024 to fourth generation, I still think it looks pretty darn good. Definitely, a sharp looking car, in my opinion, at least. But let's talk about the bigger thing. That is the motor. All right. So we'll have a 2.4-liter four-cylinder turbocharged motor. You will have the 228 horsepower motor. That's going to be the lowest tier motor. That will be in the SR5 model. You will also have the iForce 278 horsepower and 317 pounds of torque motor. So that motor is the middle motor. Now here's the thing, that motor is already more powerful than the third generation V6 Camry motor in the Tacoma. All right, my Tacoma has 278 horsepower and 265 pounds of torque. So it's really getting beaten. So now let's go to the big dog, right? The motor I like, the iForce Max, 326 horsepower, 465 pounds of torque. Guys, that is phenomenal, guys, all right? A lot of people complain about having to tow with the third generation Tacoma. I think there'll be a bit less of those complaints with the fourth generation. Now, the models. So it's actually not too different from what we have right now. We have SR, SR5. There will be a pre-runner, a Tier D Sport, a Tier D Off-Road, a Limited, a Trail Hunter, and of course the big dog Tier D Pro, just like right now with the third generation. I do think it's pretty cool how Toyota does offer all these models. Whatever you're looking for, there's probably a specific model for you. Personally, for me, it would probably be the Off-Road, the Trail Hunter, or the Pro. With such a wide variety of motors and trim choices for the fourth generation Tacoma, I do think Toyota did do pretty well with their lineup. But with that, let's go ahead and let's go into my reasoning why, I'm actually not interested as of right now in the 2024 fourth generation Tacoma. Everything is expensive now, you guys, right? Every year, everything is getting more and more expensive. We all know this. Every year, cars get a bit more pricey. All right, right now, the base model Tier D Off-Road is going to run you about 36.5. All right. Now, when you take in fees and all that, I'm here in California, you're getting to about 40. It's quite a bit for a base model. So look at it this way, guys, all right? This is going to be one next year, so prices are going to go up a few grand like they always do. And two, a new generation, which I have absolutely no doubt they're going to add another couple grand to that. I'm not talking dealership markups or anything. I'm talking purely MSRP. When it comes to dealership markups, I don't pay them. I have a dealer network around me that is all MSRP only. That's why I got both the Supra and the Tacoma at MSRP. But I think the way we're looking at it is a Tier D Pro. I think even like the cheapest Tier D Pro is going to be costing, I think, close to 60 or even above. And for me, that's just a lot for a small truck. My Tier D off-road was 50 grand out the door, but that was also because I had every bell and whistle on it. Now, I have no doubt that the Tier D Pro, every bell and whistle, the cheapest you're gonna get it will probably be low 60s. I might be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, right? Because I want these trucks to be lower prices and more people can buy them, more people can enjoy them. But we'll have to find out on that. So now let's go on to the next reason. All right, guys, so here's my main reservation with it. All right. So I'm not going to doubt that Toyota does make excellent products and its products are, amazing quality. But this is still going to be Toyota's first foray with a specific engine configuration. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, I usually love being the first adopter of cars that come out. When the Mustang came out, the 2015 S550, I was the first one there, right? That's why I had the 2015 Mustang GT. I wanted the first year. When the Supra came out, I did get the second year because I really wanted the A91 edition. So that's why I bought the 2021 model. But the thing is, when you buy these vehicles in the first or second year, sometimes even third, there will be issues that the automotive manufacturer still has to iron out. All right. Now, I won't doubt that it's going to be the same thing with this motor. The first year or two, people are going to have issues that Toyota will have to address. It might be something that fixed via warranty. It might be something that requires an all-new motor. It might be with the transmission, one of those things. And most likely what's going to happen is it'll be fixed for future iterations. So you might be better off just waiting for maybe a 2026 Tacoma or something. Now for some examples, my Mustang 2015 GT, we got the new and improved, I should say, 5.0 motor. But the manual transmissions turned out to be garbage, the MT82 transmissions. I know that there was a class action lawsuit against Ford for them. I'm not sure where that's gone by now. Now I got lucky. I got the automatic transmission. But with it still being, that first year car, the transmission blew up at 40,000 miles. I mean, thankfully it was fixed under warranty, nothing out of my pocket. But it just kind of shows what can happen. My Supra. Yes, it was the second year of the Supra, but it was the first year of that specific motor configuration, all right? That's why its horsepower was boosted about 45 horsepower from the 2020 model. It was having oil consumption issues, or I should say other people's were. I was fine, I got lucky. Other people were having such bad oil consumption issues that they actually had to lemon law their Supra with Toyota, or Toyota would put a new motor in there. Now these are all these are kind of big examples of the issues you can have, but you will probably have quirks if you buy the first year or two. So you really do have to decide, do you want to be the guinea pig for it, basically. For me, when it comes to trucks, I'm kind of done being the guinea pig. All right, guys, so here's another problem. Admittedly, this is a little bit more of a first world problem, but there will be very limited modifications when the Tacoma first comes out. So once again, the Mustang and the Supra, I was pretty early to adopt them, but modifications were also very early to the scene. When I had the Mustang, for example, I wanted a new exhaust. There were maybe 3 or 4 brands out at the time. I remember Borla already had something out, MagnaFlow already had something out, 1 or 2 other companies. But then, we finally, some of the bigger companies came in, like Corsa, for example. But here's the problem. This wasn't like I was coming into this platform that had already had years and years of people on it, where I was like, oh, how does a Corsa exhaust sound? Let me just go on the forums and look at people's reviews on how is the install, were there any issues with it, and that kind of stuff. No, I had to be the one to buy it first and hope that everything was all good and hope the exhaust didn't suck, honestly. Now, of course, it was an awesome exhaust. And that was just something that I really noticed also with the Supra. When I had the Supra, all these new products are still coming out. For example, if you put Supra carbon fiber vents into the search bar, you will see my video where I was one of the first to put the carbon fiber vents on the Supra because nobody else had done it yet. But again, I was being a guinea pig. Being a first adopter means you will be the first for a lot of things, also be the first to have issues. Sometimes you'll hear about a product having issues, and then, oh, but it's cool though because, like a year into it or whatever, the manufacturer fixed the issue everyone else was having. Guess what? You're going to be that person with those issues that the manufacturer will fix in later iterations of the product. Maybe they'll send you a fixed version. Maybe you're, SOL. That's just how it works with these vehicles, guys. That's actually what made me really start getting into YouTube reviews because I was tired of looking for products and there was no video reviews on them. And I was like, well, I'll put one out. So if anyone needs to see, you know, it'll be there. At least I'll have made one for other people. And also the cost too. Guys, when the products are new, they definitely have to get back R&D costs, so it does cost more. For example, the Corsa exhaust that I had on my Mustang, brand new, it was about 13 to 1400. A few years down the line, R&D costs and all that were covered and everything. I think you could buy it now for about 8 or 900. Pretty decent discount. And also, there'll also be a much larger used market, right? When the product's been out for a while. I mean, I remember the Supra and the Mustang, you're on the forums, as soon as any new product was being sold on a marketplace, it was gone in like an hour because, there were so few used ones in the population. That's just how it works, guys. Reason number four, guys. So here's the thing. When I was looking into the fourth generation Tacoma, I was thinking, it'd be kind of cool to get a manual truck. Honestly, to me, the new Tacoma, like I said, I like how it looks. I think it looks really sharp. I was like, a manual would seem very fitting for this model. However, it turns out there won't be a manual option for the iForce motor, or I should say the big dog, the nice one, 326 horsepower, 465 pounds of torque. Now, for me, that's a bummer. For some people, won't care. I'm not saying there's a problem with it being automatic. Some people are like, okay, I only like automatic trucks, but I was really hoping for the manual, which is unfortunate. So that's kind of just a personal preference thing. But for some of you guys, it might be new news for you guys. So yeah, just keep that in mind, guys. No manual with the iForce Max motor. All right, guys, so here's another big reason. So like I said, I have a third generation Tacoma 2022. All right, so being that it's this late in the lifespan, a lot of the kinks and bugs in the motor and stuff have been ironed out already. And most importantly, the third generation, when you compare it to the 2024 fourth gen, it's just so much more simple, guys, all right? The new 2024 fourth gen, it has a turbo motor. The transmission is going to be different. It's going to have, a few little updated things. Suspension is going to be different. It's going to have, disc brakes all around versus the drums. It's going to have the option to get some of those little things. To me, they still seem kind of gimmicky, like the suspension system on the seats and all that. But guys, the third generation Tacoma, it's simple. And yes, sometimes simple isn't the coolest, but simple works, guys, right? We all know KISS and what it stands for. All right? Simple works. Simple is what you can depend on to run every day and not give you any issues. Yes, the Camry motor in a third generation Tacoma, the Camry V6, it's a slug. It's a dog, yes. Transmission, not much better, but guess what? I still trust them to last me past 250,000 miles with minimal issues because it's a simple motor. Yes, I won't run any races. Yes, it's not going to raise any eyebrows, but it's simple. I can depend on it. For some of you guys, a third generation Tacoma might be the best fit for you. All right. For you guys, your truck might be something for actual work and all that. It might be your actual work truck. For me, I need it to get me to work, but it's not something I actually truly have to depend on in terms of my income relying on it. If your income relies on you having a reliable vehicle, the third generation Tacoma, it's as simple as it gets, and it's just a stellar choice. I am glad when I do have to drive into work that I am able to just get into it, press a push start and get on my way. Simplicity is what makes life easier and makes it so you don't have to worry and make a little prayer that your vehicle runs fine and starts up fine and continues running fine. I have zero doubts that my third generation Tacoma is going to go a very long time. Honestly, I don't doubt I'll probably get tired of it and sell it before I have any real issues with it. That's just the way I am. But once again, though, It is simple, it is dependable, it is not something I'm looking to get rid of, especially because I want this to be my daily as I buy other probably less reliable sports cars again in the future. And there you have it, guys. Those are my main reasons why I, as of right now, will not be buying a 2024 Tacoma and why I will be sticking with my 2022 Tacoma Tier D Off-Road, you guys. Now, I do want to know what you guys think. What's your experience? Do you have any of the generation Tacomas? Would you want the new Tacoma? Please, guys, let me know about your opinions. I love reading your comments, guys. Let me know. All right. So with that, guys, this is Rob, and have a good one.